Today we're in the kitchen making a keto friendly crustless pizza. Okay, this is my crustless pizza. This is how I do it. You brown ground beef in a pan, and then all this liquid has to get drained off. Any fat, any liquid, that's got to get drained off. And you want to chop this fairly fine. This is keto friendly crustless pizza. Now this is not like a regular pizza. You're not going to be able to pick this up and eat it out of your hand like a crust. But you'll need a fork to eat it. Break it up, get them small, and then we gotta drain off all that liquid. Alright, just got done draining it, and I'm gonna chop it up a little bit more. Real fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be terribly small, but I don't like it big and chunky. It'll hold together better the smaller it is. Alright, that's about 2 pounds of ground beef, and to that I put Parmesan cheese, and I don't really measure it. I just look at it and think if it looks right or not. And to 2 pounds of meat, I'll use about 5 eggs. I'm gonna mix that up a little bit first. Pan's still hot, the heat is off. Beat my eggs. I put them in there, that's about 5 eggs. And then mix it. You gotta mix it quick because the pan is still hot. You don't want it to cook too much. You want to coat it all the meat before it really starts cooking. Even though I drained the grease off the meat, there's still grease in here. I need a better spatula than this for the next step because you want something a little more flexible. Kind of flatten it out a bit. There's still grease in there even though we drained it. And now that the egg is in there, the egg will start to cook. It's already started a little bit. You can see some of that yellow in there. It is cooking a little bit. Now I put the heat back on. Low to medium, somewhere in between there. Kind of a low heat. I use electric. We like electric better. More control. Everybody's got their own opinions. Basically, I just let it cook up a little bit from here. So from here, we're letting it cook a little bit, cook the egg with the meat, get it to solidify a little bit more. It takes, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. All right, as it's cooking, you can see that the meat is rising up a little bit. It's got some, the heat's coming up through, it's making it rise a little bit. You get these little places where it starts to bubble through. That's good. It's cooking up, and now I start to go around the edge and make sure that my edge stays loose so that I can get it out nicely later on. And that's why I like a flexible spatula for this, because I can go right along like this and I don't tear it up. I like my food to look and taste good. Then it starts to release from the edge. It's still on a very low heat. At this point, that egg looks like it's pretty well cooked. It's holding together pretty good. Now, if you were to just scoop this, I mean, it would rip. It's not like a pizza dough, but as you can see, it's pretty good. It's kind of like an omelet almost, except there's a bunch of meat in it, a bunch of ground beef. So from here, I'm going to turn off the heat, and then I'm going to put on my sauce and my toppings. So I'm going to slide that off the heat for a minute. Alright, for tomato sauce, we use a local company that makes a very good tomato sauce that we like. Whenever we use sauce that we don't make, that is, we make our own tomato sauce, and when we run out, we buy theirs. Alright, you want some tomato sauce on there. You don't want too much because, once again, we don't want to put a bunch of liquid in here. Now, some people make this same, very similar recipe I've seen online, and they have you cooking down veggies and all this, and that's mixed in with the meat. And that's alright, I guess, but that always introduces too much water for me, and the crust doesn't stay together at all. So I try to keep it fairly dry and put things like veggies on top, not incorporated in with the meat. That's enough sauce there. Actually, that's probably a little much, but it's in there. So. I'm using a dried onion. I put the dried onions straight on my sauce. For me, they always rehydrate in time. I like to saute an onion and put it on, but I didn't do that here. So when I don't do that, that's what we do. From here we just like herbs. We put on a little basil, some Italian seasoning, fennel. Okay, once I have my seasoning on, I put on the cheese. And if I want other toppings like veggies or whatever, you know, that goes on top of the cheese. I like provolone for pizza cheese. I think provolone is the best pizza cheese. A lot of people like mozzarella or, you know, whatever your preference. I like provolone. Unfortunately, I'm out of provolone today, so I'm just using a mixed cheese that we also have. Put my cheese on kind of thick, and then I bring it out to the edges. I like it right up to the edge, just like that. Now from here, we broil it. Don't bake it. And I put the rack up all the way, and it goes in for maybe like 5 minutes. You gotta watch it. I put it in for 5 minutes, but I check on it because you don't want to burn it.
What in the world?
I think we gotta get out of here.
All right, the pizza, check on it here. Oh yeah, that's done. That is done. That is done. I don't know if you could see that other pizza in the oven on there or not. That's my wife's homemade pizza in that oven. we're cooking that at the same time. That is like the best pizza in the world, but it has a crust, and I want a crustless keto pizza. That's what we're making tonight for me, and that is what this is. Now, as you can see, I'm going to go around with my flexible spatula. I'm going to release it from the pan. As you can see, that egg holds the meat together. You can work your way around and work that thing up. You want this on a plate? You can work your way around, work that up, get it loose. The egg really holds that together very nicely. Very nice. And there you have it. There you have it. Keto Friendly Crustless Pizza. Ooh, falls apart a little bit sometimes, but for the most part, it stays together pretty well. It can fall apart if you're not too careful. I like to use a cast iron skillet. I think it holds heat better, transfers heat better. It's just nicer to cook in my opinion. That's just my opinion.